Modern Warfare 2 release date has been revealed. There is also Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 leaks. Lots of Call of Duty news contained in this video. We're going to be talking about the skill-based matchmaking changes that are apparently coming with Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2, and what I think the real solution is. Make sure you hit subscribe and the bell button. That way you don't miss these videos. We go live Monday through Friday, and I try to give you everything right here at the beginning. This is a Reforge update. The Modern Warfare 2 release date is here. There are also leaks about Warfare and Warzone, both games having leaks about skill-based matchmaking. I want to talk about, and really probably debate in my live stream on Reforge Gaming, why I don't think they're actually helping with their solutions for skill-based matchmaking, how it might make things worse for Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and Warzone 2. If you like these quick updates, hit subscribe and the bell button. That way you don't miss my updates. So, basically, the tweet revealed that the release date is October the 28th, 2022. So yes, in fact, it is coming this year in about 5 months. Now, in the video, there's a secret code, and we spent a significant amount of time theorizing about this code because it could land in two separate positions. It's J822. Now, that could be June the 8th of 2022 or July the 8th of 2022. People joked that it was January. Well, January already happened, so it's either June or July. Now, the reason I think it is June, I think I've got a pretty good theory as to why it's June. June the 8th is a Wednesday, and it just so happens to be the day before Summer Game Fest, as well as all of the other big pushes and conferences for gaming that happen in June. E3 has been supplanted, and that's a great time to get in front of everybody and to get whatever they're going to do out of the way, whether it's a gameplay reveal or a teaser or something of that matter. They get that out of the way, and then all the marketing hits. July 8th would also work because it is a Friday. Friday the 8th in July could be a great time. All the marketing is done, June's sort of over, and then they would dominate the news circuit in July. I think it's going to be June because, again, getting in front of Summer Game Fest and all of the other conferences would be great, and then they can go do interview circuits and hang out with people and show more stuff or do deep dives, all right? Now, it's huge on nostalgia. I think that's undeniable. They're going with the name Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which, you know, kind of assumes that they're trying to get people nostalgically excited. They have portraits of Captain John Price, Simon Ghost Riley, John Soap McTavish, and Kyle Gaz Garrick. So they really want to pluck at the nostalgic heartstrings, which makes sense because, you know, Modern Warfare 2 is considered one of the best, if not the best, Call of Duty to date. Not only are there, you know, secret codes and a release date, we've got Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 skill-based matchmaking leaks about the game. Apparently, they are looking to curb down skill-based matchmaking because people have cried about this for a long time. I don't say that in a disparaging way. I've cried about it. I'm like, I've cried out. Please turn this off. It turns me away from games. And they're looking to add bots as well. I don't actually think bots encourage me. When I hear that, I get a little bit worried because I had pretty bad experiences with bots in Fortnite because bots are extremely easy to kill. And when you're doing skill-based matchmaking and you're doing it on the fly, you end up getting thrown in lobbies you have no business in because it's like, hey, you just had a really, really good game, and we're going to throw you in with these people that are also really, really good. And it's like, well, of course I had a really good game. You put me in a server with bots. Anybody, unless you're, like, really, really bad, anybody can get a lot of kills against bots. I think the true solution would be ranked and unranked. That's what we're going to be primarily debating on Reforge Gaming about this. Make sure you check out that channel if you like live streams. But that's the real solution. The solution is ranked and unranked. I think that's how you get people in the right funnels. That's how you protect people of lower skill. That's how you keep people from getting burned out. That's how you get your hardcore players who are higher skilled to sort of disperse in your game so they're not constantly hanging out in your, you know, connection-based lobbies or smurfing or things like that. So we got a release date, we got a secret code, and we got maybe discouraging news about skill-based matchmaking changes coming to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. As always, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see the rest of you right now. That's actually, I didn't need to do that, but I figured the opening to the video should just stay true to form. We already recorded that video last night. That'll hit the updates channel sometime today, but I figured it would still be worth doing on the front end of this VOD because we are going to be discussing all of the various aspects of these games. Yo, what's good? Mushroom Night on TikTok. Y'all talking about the new Modern Warfare 2? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I'm wearing this freaking hoodie. It was cold this morning. Yo, what's good, Feed? How are you, sir? Good to see you in the chat. Guys, make sure you go through the morning ritual. And that morning ritual is you switch to live chat so you can see what everybody's saying. You smash the like button. Get us our first 100 likes. And not a strong start today, which is surprising. Maybe it's because people don't care about Call of Duty. Maybe we should have gone with skill-based matchmaking on the thumbnail or something to get the debate going. But that's largely what we're going to be discussing because that is, in my opinion, bigger news than like, hey, we have a secret code and a release date. Yo, good morning, Hex. Good morning, Ant. How are you guys doing? Let's get the likes pumped up. We're going to need it. This is not a strong start for us. This is very bad for such a big title, so we're going to have to do this on our own. YouTube's not giving us love. Let's do it ourselves, right? Let's hit 100. Let's go. I'm here with my rituals. Appreciate it. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, J Murph. Don't care about the story of Modern Warfare 2, but if they can make the multiplayer feel similar, if not the same, I will be so happy. For those new guys, this morning ritual is tipping at least $5, ordering coffee, and then being kind in chat, says Noble Beast. Actually, first coffee order of the day is getting printed and shipped today because we only got one order yesterday, and that drives me crazy. I feel like that's such a waste of a label. So first order of the day, I'm going to load it up, print it, take it out, and my wife will ship it today with yesterday's order. So get your coffee orders in if you haven't done so already this month, or if it's time for you to get a restock, be sure to do that. Let me update the shirt command as well. We're always wearing a shirt from our wonderful sponsor over there at 80s Tees, and this one is from the Marvel Collection, this Ghost Rider shirt. I think it's a great color. It's a great shirt. Be sure to use code Lono for 30% off over at 80stees.com. Don't use their spin wheel thing or give you your email for a discount thing. Don't do that. Use my code for a discount over there. If you've never been here before, Monday through Friday, we do a Safe for Work podcast, basically, where we sit here and take a certain subject. I want to know what you guys think, all right? So I'm going to do Call of Duty skill-based matchmaking. Leave it or remove it. What should they do? What should they do? I want to hear from you guys. Leave it or remove it. Call of Duty skill-based matchmaking. Leave it or remove it. That's the debate for the day. That's the topic we're going to be batting around because I don't think bots are a solution. I had a, generally pretty terrible experience in Fortnite, largely because of the bots, at least in my experience. I really, really don't appreciate being put in lobbies with people that are really, really bad, and then, all of a sudden I'm in lobbies with people that are really, really good. I do not think it helps. I think it causes more harm than good. I think the true solution, especially if you're a bad player or you want to avoid the really good players, let's just say you have really bad luck and you're like, man, I feel like I always end up in really, really, really sweaty lobbies. Well, that's what ranked and unranked is for. Ranked and unranked is there for you to help you with that. That's how you're supposed to protect people from being mismatched. That's how you're supposed to motivate higher level players to grind and to sweat and to be in a place to earn things for their skill level and how good that they are. A lot of the Call of Duty controversy around these streamers that use VPNs to get in regions where they play against terrible players, and you got people looking at other monitors and things like that. I watched a couple videos today. I don't feel a lot of these big mainline COD streamers have done enough to prove that there's not weird things going on. Everybody else says that skill-based matchmaking basically ruins their experience. Even Nick Merckx has been speaking out about the rampant cheating, and I think we've just seen the tip of the iceberg. I really do. Removing skill-based is not the answer. Ranked and unranked is the answer. Well, I think if you remove it, you got to replace it with something else. So many players are just absolutely terrible. They need to protect it or they will leave. Some form of light skill-based matchmaking is needed to keep them out of the pool. Right, and so this is what was speculated in the Warzone 2 leak, okay? So the Call of Duty Warzone 2 leak, as well as the Modern Warfare 2 leak, both of them said that they were considering putting bots in the game so that the lower skilled players could be going into servers and essentially playing against the bots. Now, that doesn't necessarily solve the problem for a couple of reasons. Let me explain what that doesn't solve. Number one, you may end up taking an enormous portion of the player base out of traditional matchmaking. So if they're in their sort of like their own matchmaking, if they're in their own funnel that has bots to make things easier for them, to make matchmaking go faster, things of that nature, that's going to essentially do what skill-based matchmaking does right now and drive so many people crazy, is it makes them they basically say, listen, I don't want to play. I'm only playing against mid lane, high lane players, and that's really, really frustrating. And that's not something that you want to see. You don't want to see your higher tier players feeling like they're almost sequestered from the rest of the community. Now, again, when you go into ranked, you know what you're signing up for. You know you're signing up for Call of Duty ranked. Let's go. I know what I'm going to get. I know what's going to be, you know, what I'm signing up for. It's going to be sweaty. It's going to be kind of crazy. And instead, when you just go into normal matchmaking and that happens, that's a huge turnoff to people. That's not something that most people want to experience. They don't want to be in a super sweaty funnel. If you're just tuning in, we're discussing the Modern Warfare 2 release date, the secret code. There was Modern Warfare 2 leaks, as well as Call of Duty Warzone 2 leaks about skill-based matchmaking. So we are debating that right now. Is putting bots in the game a solution? Is that going to help the lower skilled players? What about the higher skilled players? What about the mid lane players like me, who end up thrashing the bots, and then I get thrust up into too high of an echelon of skill-based matchmaking? What do you think? Take the poll at the top of the chat. Make sure you hit subscribe so you can talk in my chat. Guys, make sure and smash the like button. Let's get 19 more likes real quick. We got people rolling in now. We're getting a little bit of momentum, getting some folks in here to debate this topic because it's a spicy one. Stop disbanding lobbies, says Casey. Gang says, skill-based matchmaking is such a dead horse. It's been around for how long, and no one has figured out how to fix it. Just make everything ranked-based, even quick play modes. Now, the reason you don't want to do that, gangs, I think that's an overreach, and here's why. I think you need a just Wild West, connection-based, anything goes. You may end up in a game with Z-Laner, as he looks at his second monitor. Just kidding, Z. But you know what I'm saying? You might end up in a match with Z. You might end up in a match with a potato. I think that's totally fine. I think having total connection-based, Wild West, anything goes, who knows who you're going to end up, I think you need that. You 100% need that. You need that environment. And then a contrast to that environment is the ranked environment. You go into ranked, you know what you're signing up for. I'm a mid lane player. I'm slightly above average. I'm never going to be on a team. I'm never going to be in a tournament, but I can win games, okay? I've been playing shooters since shooters became shooters, okay? Since Wolfenstein 3D, GoldenEye, and the rest is history, okay? I've been playing them too long to be garbage. It just isn't in my nature. You can't play video games this long and not just naturally pick up the skills to be a decent player. You know what I'm saying? So I think in the grand scheme of things, I would even go into a ranked playlist and start to feel like it's a little too sweaty, start to feel like it's a little annoying, right? Like, come on, man, these games are too close, these games are too sweaty. But that, again, I know I'm signing up for that. So if I'm in the mood for that, if I'm in the mood to raise my rank and I want to work on unlocks, I want to work on different things, then I'm going to put myself into that situation. When I don't have a choice, when I have zero choice in the matter and you're just throwing me into sweat boxes and sweat lodges and everybody's got their ninja headband on and they're snorting G Fuel off the keyboard, that's how, I'm not going to stay in there for very long. Because I'm not choosing that. You're choosing that for me. That's why I stopped playing Fortnite. That's why I largely avoided Destiny 2's PvP. Destiny 2's PvP and Fortnite's experience were almost identical. Hey, I had 2 or 3 good games. This is pretty fun. And then the rest of my day is just hell. It's like, oh my gosh. They think I'm amazing, and I'm not. I'm not. You put me against bad players, potatoes, or bots, and now I look amazing, and now I got to sit here and play against players that this is their life. And they feel the same way, by the way. So are these 2 separate Call of Duty games or one game with a secondary main mode? Okay, that's a good question. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 will be a full released game with a campaign. Hey, first order of coffee. It's a bag of dark to B41 is 0. Sir, I'm going to print you right now. I'm going to print you right now, sir. Because I can't stand wasting labels. I said first order of the day gets printed and shipped today, and you did it. Anybody else ordering coffee today, you'll get shipped tomorrow. No worries. We print the labels every night. We're one of the fastest, coffee delivery services you could ask for. It's us. It's my wife and kiddos bag it up and ship it out. So Modern Warfare 2 will be its own game. It'll probably have more arena-style PvP, smaller maps, etc. It'll have a campaign. It'll be a traditional annual release of Call of Duty. Now, they're not doing annual releases anymore. This will actually be the last one, okay? This will be the last one. And because it's going to be the last one, they're going to start going every other year. At least that's what it seems like. That's what they've said, okay? All right. They've said that they're going to be going every other year. And I think that that's totally fine. I think that that's probably going to be for the better. I think that's going to be for the better. There, you don't need this no return label. We don't need a new Call of Duty every year. The quality started to go down, etc. So that's Modern Warfare 2. Okay, that's Modern Warfare 2. Now Warzone 2 is their free-to-play, completely open to anybody who wants to play it, cross-play, battle royale. That's what it is. So Warzone 2 will launch sort of beside it. So what you do right now is you open up Call of Duty. You open up Call of Duty and it's like, hey, pick from this, pick from this, pick from this. It's got all these hoppers, right? Give me 1 second. So you pick one of the hoppers. You either pick the Warzone hopper, the Cold War hopper, the Modern Warfare hopper, whatever. You pick from one of those hoppers, right? Vanguard launches, and Call of Duty Vanguard's like its own thing, but then Warzone's like over here, and it's the... Okay, it printed. It's the, it's the Battle Royale. So they're separate, but they're not. They can be interrelated. That is true. Guys, 5 more likes for 200 likes. Let's go. We're going to have to drag this stream up a hill this morning. I'm not sure what happened, but we're not getting the YouTube blessing yet. We might get it if we really prove ourselves. So smash that like button. All these hoppers literally hops out of the chair. That's right. That's right. So the reason that they do this is that Warzone is a freaking cash cow, basically. Warzone, the Battle Royale, that's where they make all their money. That and Call of Duty Mobile now. Call of Duty Mobile is just insane, right? It's just absolutely printing cash. So they keep them separate for that reason. It took a minute, but I think I got it. 2 new games in the Call of Duty launcher. Just keep interrupting yourself, so I'm not really clear. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt myself. So you've got right now. I'll make it clear for you. Right now you have Call of Duty Vanguard. It released with a campaign. It released with more stripped down arena style PvP. So you got Vanguard. Then you have Call of Duty Warzone. That's the Battle Royale. It's totally free. Vanguard costs money. It was an annual release. You bought the full game. You got the campaign. You get the stuff. Warzone's over here for totally free, and it's the Battle Royale. This is going to be the exact same. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, an annual release with a campaign and story and all this stuff and more arena-style PvP. And then over here, you're going to have Call of Duty Warzone 2, the sequel to Warzone, the Battle Royale, totally free on every platform, on all next-gen platforms. That's what they're going to do. side by side, running in tandem. Now, sometimes they interact with each other. Like sometimes if you do stuff in the annual game, if you do stuff in the annual release game, then you end up with getting unlocks in the Battle Royale, right? You end up getting stuff in the Battle Royale. Willie, oh my gosh, Willie's got his avatar. Willie's ready for the second show today. You can level up weapons in all modes. There you go. Yeah, that's two. You can have sort of like one benefiting the other. So if you're just tuning in, we're discussing the Modern Warfare 2 release. I have my own theory about the secret code, but there was also Warzone 2 leaks as well as Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 leaks. Both games seemingly getting updates and changes made to skill-based matchmaking. We want to know, at the top of the chat right now, Call of Duty skill-based matchmaking, leave it or remove it? What do you think? Should they leave it in the game or should they remove it? Let us know what you think. Cast your vote at the top of the chat in that poll. Maybe consider becoming a member or ordering some coffee. We already got one coffee order for the day. Membership's $5 a month. You get 4 perks, increased access in the Discord, a weekly members AMA where you can ask me anything about gaming that I might not talk about in view of the public, Friday night streams with my wife that are members only, and then a monthly community game night. That little Ubisoft Roller Champions game is actually really fun. We have a first look coming today of that. We have a channel called Reforge First Look where we give you first looks at video games. That'll hit later today. Our second talk show of the day is about PlayStation Plus upgrade prices are causing controversy and criticism. That's our second show. And then Reforge Radio this afternoon. We've got a whole host of things to talk about. KOTOR got passed over by Xbox. PlayStation Premium Trials. We got details about that. Hogwarts exclusivity. So make sure you're with me for the whole day. Make sure you're subbed to all the channels so you don't miss all of the coverage. The Roller Champions game just needs to not, like, crash. Crashed like 3 times. Crashed like 3 times. And it's really fun. It's like both. It's like, my gosh, this game could be so fun. I think it's going to have that Rocket League effect. Potentially. Really easy to pick up and fun. And potentially insane skill ceiling of people going nuts in the game. But right now, they're going to need to keep it from crashing. A game like that, you need players, you need bodies. The people who complain about skill-based matchmaking just want to crap on noobs and forget that not having that feature drives new players away from the game. Okay, I want to engage with what Fathom Rocker is saying. Okay, people who complain about skill-based matchmaking, they just want to crap on noobs. This statement gets made all the time, and with as much respect as I can muster, it is so ignorant. That is not true at all. There may be some, yes, extremely good players that just want to create montages, okay? There are probably some players, yes, but that is not why I don't like it. I don't like it because it literally drives me away from playing the game. You're concerned about protecting those players. What about players like me? I'm not some god. I don't want to stomp on noobs, and I get driven away by the feature. I don't like it for a couple of reasons. Let me just list the reasons that skill-based matchmaking drives me away from playing games. Number 1, it makes it really hard to play with your friends if they're better than you, because then you get drug into lobbies and you're completely out of your league. What if you were friends with a guy who was really, really good at basketball, and you wanted to go play a pickup game of basketball, but because he was really good, he invites all of his friends from some local league, and you don't even get to enjoy yourself. You can't touch the ball, you can't do anything. You're getting absolutely smoked the entire time. Well, you were just wanting to play some pickup basketball with your buddy, but because he's committed, he's got the latest Jordans, he's ready to go, he's got all of his friends, and you go and play, you wouldn't do that very often. You're not trying to become a pro player. You're not trying to sweat, and be amazing. You're just wanting to play some pickup ball with your bud, and instead, you end up in what feels like some college qualifier. You're like, what in the frick's going on, okay? So that's reason number 1. Reason number one is it makes it really, really hard to play with your buds if they're better than you, which is commonly going to happen, especially if you don't play as often. I play pretty infrequently, so when I jump into Fortnite or any of these games, generally speaking, I'm going to be playing with somebody that's well outside of my league, who's been playing all week, and they're going to drag me into games, and I'm going to feel miserable. The other reason the skill-based matchmaking drives players like me away, we're not that good. But we can have a couple of good games, and then we feel like we're punished for it. I can have a couple of decent games, especially when Fortnite puts bots in my lobby. It's like, well, yeah, I got 7 kills, and then 8, and then 11, and yeah, we're always making it into the top 10. You're putting me in a game with bots. And now because I averaged 8.4 kills per game, you're throwing me in with guys that can do that. And I'm like, I can't get 8.4 kills per game. I got 8.4 kills and 7 of those were bots. Yo, what's good, dad of dads? You trying to go hoop? You trying to go hoop? No, I don't hoop, homie. I'm 5'6". I do not hoop. I am short and white. It's not the greatest combination for basketball. I always think skill-based matchmaking is good for the majority of players, but I always think it's implemented wrong. Skill-based matchmaking should be fair team building, not 50-50 win-lose ratio, which Call of Duty is notorious for. That's exactly right, Gilly. Good to see you. Yes, my friends and I quit playing Call of Duty for that reason. They wanted you to win and then lose, and then win and then lose, and then win and then lose. It was like, bro, we should be able to go on a win streak. When I played Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 with my homies, we would go on win streak after win streak. We got a legitimate, no dashboarding, a legitimate 101 game win streak in Modern Warfare 2. We played headquarters. We actually ruined our kill streak, our win streak, because we were screwing around, and what we would do is we wouldn't capture the last headquarters just to rack kills and kill streaks, and some guy got a nuke on us. The chopper gunner came out and we were like, oh no, oh my gosh, we better capture the last headquarters. And as we scrambled to capture the last headquarters, he got the kills he needed for a nuke, and he ruined our win streak. And we took it on the chin. We're like, we deserved this. We were screwing around. We weren't paying attention to some guy's kills, and here we sit. In Modern Warfare 3, we got to like 223 win streak. Totally legitimate. We just played Team Defender. We were super organized. Then all of a sudden, we played Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, and it was like if we won 2 games in a row, it was like we got punished. It was like, here you go, play these guys in Korea or Japan, and the connection's terrible, and you're going to lose because they're doing really well, and you're doing really well, and we think this is fair. That's not fair. You punished me for playing well. That doesn't make any sense. Just buy better skins, that's right. Every time I jump into D2 and have a good game, it swings way too far in the other way, and I get stomped for several games before it levels out. Right, it doesn't... Like, how many... That's the question. How many players are in the mid? How many players are in the middle and get driven crazy by this? That's the real question. That's the question that I have. Because if I'm going to play your game, and I can do reasonably well as long as you don't make me play against a lobby of Z-laners and Tifus, well, okay, I'm going to throw up decent numbers. Am I going to be punished for that? Am I going to... Yeah, we're covering that today on Reforge Radio, Eugene. The PlayStation Plus demos, we've got details on that. We'll be covering that later today on Reforge Radio. Like, is the game literally... Are these games literally valleys? Like, we have a peak over here, just absolute can't shoot the broadside of a barn potatoes, and then over here we have all the sweat heads. And those of us that are in the middle, we're just a valley. We don't represent enough of the player base. We just don't matter. I think the main pros for skill-based matchmaking would be noobs get as many games as required to get familiar. Once you progress, you normally meet really good players, and that drives better personal learning. Chopper Gunner was state-sanctioned wall hacks and aimbot. I love that. Chopper Gunner was state-sanctioned wall hacks and aimbot. Indeed. What's good, Pit Viper? I hopped into Halo Infinite last night and felt like I was going up against pro players who were all dressed out in every single shop or promotional skin in history. Bro, this is me with Apex. I'll have like 2 good matches where I win or score top 5, and then boom, I'm thrown in with Diamond Master players and I'm boned. Right, it doesn't work. It's ad hoc. You're a 1.5 KD in Vanguard. What's your experience like? As soon as you cross over into the low 1 KDs, it's gotta be hell. I gotta imagine that it's just absolute hell, because that's better than so much of the player base. Yes, you are a Valley, you are a casual. But so when you say I'm a casual, Prosy, is it because I don't play that much? Or, because you're not saying I'm bad, are you? I'm not bad. I can play Call of Duty and Fortnite, and I can throw down. I can't throw down with the top 20%. But if you put me in the middle, if I'm playing against the 30% to the 70%, if you put me in there, homie, I can go. I can get some kills and have some fun. It's when I leave that environment and I'm playing against guys that live in the game, and I'm like, well, I can't do anything against these guys. I play infrequently. You don't meet new players because your lobby gets torn apart every match. The good players play PvP every day like you play PvE every day. No, we don't play that much. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the... But here's the thing, though, Prosy. You're basically giving me a terrible decision to make. I either have to commit to becoming godlike or just walk away. It's like, or just play the game infrequently. Well, it's been a couple weeks. It's been a couple days. Let me go play a couple matches. Oh, cool. I killed some bots. Yay. And then after 3 or 4 matches, it's time to call it quits. As soon as some guy builds a mini mall over me in Fortnite, it's time to pack it up and go home. It's like, well, skill-based matchmaking just triggered. I'm out of here. You know, we played Fortnite no build the one night for community game night. I swear we won 7 or 8 games in a row. I think we faced maybe 10 real people. I think the no build is just literally attracting nothing but the bottom of the barrel, because those are the people that walked away and they're coming back and they're just enjoying it casually, and all the sweaties went back to Buildville. I looked at Vanguard and said, F that. Modern Warfare is a pain, not as bad as Cold War, says Disordered. I played Warzone for 2 years, and I'm decent at Warzone. Currently at 241 BR wins, mostly solos. Well, what are your thoughts on skill-based matchmaking then? Guys, make sure and take the poll at the top of the chat. Modern Warfare 2 release date, along with Warzone 2 leaks. That's what we're discussing today. That's a very gatekeeping way of thinking, says Mushroom. What's gatekeeping? What if they add a personal gauge for the people that choose and how they want to play in ranked games? I'm not sure what you mean. When I played Valorant ranked, it felt like the most fair gaming experience that I've ever had. You know what I mean? It felt incredibly fair. It did. I don't know. I need to let my wife know that the label's in here. I need to let her know. Also, what do you guys think? Is the J822, is that June or July? I've got the coffee labels in the office. I just don't want to get up again. I don't like getting up and having radio silence. Good show, bro. What's good, Lufi? It's got to be a more scalable transition, says Michael. The game can't leave players in a skill group where they are generally the best players for any length of time. It has to move you up until you are losing. Lose too much, it's going to move you down. Okay, but you just described ranked. That's how ranked is supposed to work. I don't think the general game is supposed to work that way, Hilly. We have completely different philosophies. If you think I'm supposed to boot up Fortnite... can you leave the door open too? It's getting warm in here. Thanks, Mama. Like, we have completely different philosophies. If you think I'm supposed to boot up Call of Duty Warzone or Fortnite and get to a place where, sorry man, you got to lose before you go back down to the people that you can actually win gunfights against, that's a ranked playlist, and I don't always want to be on that spectrum. It has to keep you moving either up or down. It can't leave you in the place where you win most of the time. It's a bit bonkers to me that after all these years, they can't do bots better than what Timesplitters was doing 10 plus years ago, and that nobody has figured out decent skill-based matchmaking. Like, really? Well, and here's the thing. Here's the question. What if they have figured out good skill-based matchmaking and you generally only hear from the people that are better? Like, I'm not saying I'm an amazing player, but I wouldn't be surprised if when I play and I get some kills and I get into a top 5 situation, I wouldn't be surprised that after a couple of games, it's like, man, you're better than like 80% of the community. Like, you're not a pro, but homie, 80% of this community is playing on a Switch or an Xbox or a phone or a PlayStation, and man, they're just running around shooting trees. Like, they don't know what in the frick's going on. Like, I'm not saying that they're that bad, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is working. Maybe it is working as intended. Maybe it's one of those things where you play moderately well and you are quite literally in the minority. You're in the top 25. You're in the top 35, whatever percent. And they're like, nah, man, you can't play down here. These people are bad. And you clearly are not. I wonder. I really wonder. Because what I'm curious about is if the average age of gamers is like 28 and above, and you got all these people that have been playing video games their whole dadgum life, why are they so god-awful at Call of Duty and Fortnite? Like, who are these people? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be mean. I don't get it. It's like, who are these people that are so bad? If the average age of gamers is 28 and up, so the average person playing Call of Duty and Fortnite is like mid to late 20s, mid 30s. I'm like, why are you so bad? Why is the funnel full of so many bad players? Only way to fix it is to tell people where they are after every match and let them know how long it takes to get an actual accurate reading. Skill-based matchmaking is wrong for like the first 3 months of a game since casuals. I think the other big issue is that ranked and unranked are no longer a thing. It used to be back in the day you had separate playlists. Now it's just skill-based matchmaking. Valorant does ranked and unranked. Why can't more games do that? Call of Duty is easy as blank. Like most snipers in COD 1, hit, kill, torso up. Don't even need a headshot. Patrick says, me, I'm awful. Hordes of kids? It can't be hordes of kids. All the reports about the average age of gamers. Why are you in your late 20s, mid 30s playing a game that you're just terrible at? I don't get it. I'm not trying to be mean. It's genuinely, mathematically bewildering to me. It's an age demographic that should be reasonably good at these games. And apparently, they're so terrible that we need skill-based matchmaking or you're going to lose the majority of your player base. I don't get it. Most gamers are bad, but that's what I don't understand. If you're late 20s, mid 30s and you're playing video games, haven't you been playing games your entire life? You do it every Friday. Listen, I'm not going to peacock about my skill in FromSoft games, but I'm definitely, I would say in the top 20% of people who play From games. Come on. Go watch the VODs. Get out of here, creature. Average age of gamer, but maybe not the average age of people who play Call of Duty or Fortnite. How are they getting that info? A lot of kids log in with their parents' accounts to play. And that's true, Victor. That's true. Aren't kids typically pretty good at these games, though? Are we being like reverse ageist and assuming that like kids are going to be bad? I don't understand a lot of crap, but here we are. Aren't they the ones that are going to be pretty good? In my defense, I got old and my reflexes are shot. Come on, though, Zubair. Do you feel like you're that bad that you need skill-based matchmaking to protect you? If you're just tuning in, we're talking Modern Warfare 2 release date. We got Warzone 2 leaks and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 leaks about skill-based matchmaking. So we're debating it right now. I've got a poll at the top of the chat. Make sure and vote. Should they remove it or leave it? I want you to argue with me in chat right now. If you think they should leave it, why? I am in full support of a ranked and unranked system as opposed to ad hoc skill-based matchmaking. You play games at least once a day. You have to think people might not have all that time. How much time are people able to put in, man? Kids are better than we were in our prime. $100 and you're building a hotel like these kids are today in Fortnite, even when you were in your prime. Yeah, maybe. I'm 41 and I don't want skill-based matchmaking. I always have more fun in a casual connection-based system. Skill-based matchmaking and no player-hosted servers are the worst thing in games, says EMP Reb. Game chat in those games sound like 12-year-old and younger. I was top 500 in OG Modern Warfare Hardcore Team Deathmatch and Search. I can't reach that level anymore. Reflexes go. Yeah, but there's a big difference between your reflexes going, Eugene, and you not being able to keep up with the young bloods and being so bad that you need skill-based matchmaking to protect you. Do you understand? Like, just because you're a little bit slower in your reflexes and it's a young man's game, so you can't keep up with these sweaty, twitchy 16-year-olds, that doesn't mean you're so bad that you need skill-based matchmaking to protect you. You could still hold your own against a significant portion of the community, I would think. Maybe I've got it backwards, but I've always assumed, maybe I'm assuming incredibly in the wrong direction here, that like 30% skill level to 70% skill level, so shave off the bottom 29% and shave off the top 29%. I've always felt like that middle, that's the beef. That's where everybody is. And that can't be true. Because with skill-based matchmaking and how it works, it's got to be the other way around. It's like skill level like 1 to 49% has to be the majority. Thanks for the doorbell. I'll skip it. Bad players are going to get worse as they age. Yeah, that's true. I guess I didn't consider that, Eugene, that if they already were not that great and now their reflexes are getting a little bit slower, yeah, maybe. I play Vanguard with my boy and we definitely pub stomp in 90% or more of our matches. Yeah, but that's Vanguard. I mean, did the sweaties leave? I don't know. I need skill-based matchmaking to avoid the kids with mom and dad's credit card buying hacks and Cronus devices to play better. Well, I mean, but that's kind of... I need skill-based matchmaking to protect me from cheaters? We know that cheating's gotten really bad when Bowers is like, listen, I don't face cheaters. Thank God for skill-based matchmaking. You know the cheating epidemic's bad when people are like, listen, man, I've not been in favor of skill-based matchmaking before, but I sure am now. Like, give me it, please. Skill-based matchmaking is junk, says Wolvie. It's the old people getting bad. Those are the cheaters. Yeah, maybe. They're like, I got to keep up with these young bloods, man. You got to juice. Oh, man. Also remember, people's perception is biased. If they aren't dominant, they feel like they suck. Vanguard is the newest Call of Duty, Lono. The sweaties haven't left. I've been in some matches with kids going 123-3. My gosh. And you're holding your own? You play, hang on. Where was that data from? You got to remember, we know how many new people in gaming after the sickie, so I expect people are super bad. I have people on Reddit and in some Discords that are in their 50 plus years and they just got their first game console. I mean, maybe that is a factor, Butters. I don't know, chat. What do you think? Did we get an influx of players because of the sickie and people working from home, living from home, like, well, I'm going to get into that video game thing. You know, we got a bunch of boomers jumping in? They're like, let me try this newfangled Call of Duty. And then they're worried about those people leaving the game if they don't protect them with skill-based matchmaking? It's the skill-based matchmaking casual lists that are making all of the cheaters. People getting tired of the sweat fests all the time. How about a new system? Instead of detecting the best in the room and grouping them, it can just collect the bottom 25% and do potato-based matchmaking. Okay, so Noble Beast, the Warzone 2 leak points to what you're talking about. There was a Modern Warfare 2 leak along with a Warzone 2 leak, and they both pointed to what you're saying. The idea being they're going to use bots, and I think what they would do is they would shave off the bottom 25% like you're saying and say, yeah, you're going to play bots. You're going to play against bots. You are so freaking bad that we're going to put you against something that barely resembles someone with a pulse. Like, it's good. They're going to move and shoot sometimes. That's what it seems like they're planning on doing. Now, my pushback on that is the bots in Fortnite work against their aim for lots of players. Like, well, maybe not lots of players. For players like me, if you're like me and you hit maybe 60%, if there's a skill number of 1 to 100 and you're in like 60, maybe on a good day 70, you're like, I'm not terrible, but I'm slightly above average. Skill-based matchmaking absolutely punches me in the teeth because I can eviscerate the bottom portion of the player pool and any bots you put against me. I'm just going to absolutely shred them. And then you're going to put me against people in the top 30, and I'm going to feel like, well, this isn't any fun. I'm playing against people that are so far out of my league, there's no learning opportunity against players like that. Some people play games for a decade or more and still struggle. We get players in my Phoenix group that don't understand press and hold jump mechanics, so careful about overestimating general skill levels. I think that might be a problem. I think I'm being sort of centric, I'm thinking that lots of people are like me. That's that's the plight of the white man. I don't know. But I think everybody's like me, or most people are like me, and maybe I'm wrong because I'm thinking, I'm not that good. I'm not. I can do decent. What's so wrong with being decent? I'm not winning tournaments. I'm not gonna qualify for a team, but I'm decent, and decent is apparently too good. You're too good, man. What do you mean? I've never been under the delusion that I'm some god tier player. That's why I always stuck to the team-based modes with objectives, because that was about working together, right? Stronger together, ape stronger together. That was the mentality of let's team up, let's squad up, and let's go. I'm not going to go around and slay. I've never been that kind of player. Not since maybe GoldenEye. GoldenEye, I was probably one of the leaders in our little group. But, I mean, that was GoldenEye, and that was screen peeking and map memorization. It was a very different style of play than, screaming through a Call of Duty map and quick twitching and popping heads. I've never been that style of player. I've always enjoyed being on a team and working together because I'm not a strong player. I'm a good, decent player. And when you take 6 good/decent players and you put them on a team, they're going to stomp anybody they come up against, because the really high-level sweaties, they're not playing. They're all scrimming, practicing, and qualifying. So at Call of Duty back then, homie, we would take 6 average to slightly above average players, and we would just win all day because no one was that organized. And no one was that organized. Most people were just booting up, throwing themselves solo into matchmaking. They'd have their mic on to cuss and say something about your mother, and that was just the gist of it. So it was slim pickings. It was like slim pickings. It was easy to win that much in that game. There isn't enough players in a skill level. They pull in players from above and below. I'm fine with that. That's going to happen sometimes, but that doesn't seem like that's been my experience. My experience in Fortnite and Destiny 2 were exactly the same. Now, I've never played Call of Duty Warzone enough to feel any of this. I haven't. I played Plunder with you guys, and then we played some private matches, and people got really sweaty, so I was like, we're never doing this ever again. But outside of that, I've not played Call of Duty Warzone enough to feel the effects of this. But from what everybody says, it's like you're literally describing the exact same experience I've had with completely different games. Eugene makes a good point. How many people actually care when they are that far down in ranked, or even care about their rank? I think a lot of people are just there to have fun. My brother-in-law will play a game and hit a headset after lining it up for headshot after lining up for 5 seconds and go crazy. So maybe most of gaming is really just people having fun. It's possible. I'm not saying that it's not really about having fun or not having fun. It's about, you know what I mean? I don't necessarily think that's like, I don't think those things are juxtaposed. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like they're juxtaposed. Like, oh, if you're playing to have fun, you're going to play poorly or be bad. Like, I love playing for fun, but getting stomped by people who clearly are no-lifing the game, I wouldn't describe that as fun. Can we get 50 more likes on the video? I'm not sure what happened. We were about to hit, this keeps happening. We were about to hit 300 viewers, and it's like we get smacked. It's like somebody pushed a button. I don't know what happened, but maybe we can climb back up. We can get some likes and some chat activity. YouTube's been doing stuff, man. Still to this day, your live streaming is so weird. I feel like they're blipping. It's like they blip you up, and then they just shut some switch off or something. I consider myself pretty dang good, says Magical Fat Guy, at Apex Legends and Call of Duty when I played it, but since I went hard in the early life of the game, I can't chill nowadays. Yo, thanks for hitting a 9-month milestone. Thanks for renewing. I've always been good at PvP shooters, says Life Flows. Finding motivation to actually play is the true opponent nowadays. I just don't get as much out of doing well in a match anymore. Well, and I think that's why I've always said ranked and unranked should work. Because somebody's saying, oh, people don't care about their rank. It's not about that. I don't think people are seeing how one-size-fits-all ranked and unranked is if it works properly, right? If it works properly, think of it like this. Think of it like this. You give people that are really, really good a motivation to climb. They get in the ranked funnel, they push, and they push, and they push. And they're doing everything they can to raise their rank, to get the rewards, to get the incentives. Like, that matters to them. Every season, you've got new stuff for them to grind for, right? Now, the lower skilled players, you're right. They're not going to look at those rank rewards and think anything of them because they know deep down inside they're not getting any of them, okay? They know that. They know that, like, deep down inside, I'm not getting any of that. There's just no freaking way. I'm not going to climb and get ranks and get a bunch of great stuff. However, their motivation to go into ranked would be completely different than the sweaty players. Their motivation to go into ranked is, I'm not very good, and ranked assures me that I'll be playing people at my skill level. You got to remove that stigma because, you know, casual players should feel totally empowered to say, dude, ranked is great. I don't have to worry about any of this crap. I don't have to worry about playing top tier players. I don't have to worry about getting stomped. I'm playing people at my level. I'd imagine creating a combo matchmaking system wouldn't be too hard. One that focuses on connection but puts some weight on skill so the lower down aren't getting constantly stomped and quitting. Right, and I think that's got to be the actual epidemic. I would love to have somebody from behind the scenes come out and talk to us about this and be like, listen, you have no idea. There are so many bad players, man. They're so freaking bad. You have to put literally barn doors in front of them to shoot, or they're going to walk away. I range everywhere from decent to good depending in Call of Duty, most of the time depending on if I'm trying to unlock specific things or level up certain weapons. I slay out pretty often, but I play with the boys to have fun. I don't care that they score. I'm just there to have fun. I don't care about the win either. It's not even about winning, Distorted. I could play Fortnite all night and constantly get in the top 10, top 5 and enjoy myself. Now, obviously, you want to walk away with at least one win. You get that one victory under your belt, and you kind of feel like the rest of the night you can kind of goof off, okay? And that's totally fine. My issue is this is what skill-based matchmaking typically feels like for me, okay? Couple of good games. You know, couple of top 10s, couple of top 5s. That's not bad. Ooh, almost won that one. Let's dive back in. Let's see if we can't get that going again. And then you're getting eliminated halfway through the match every time. You're facing players that are just so far out of your league, you don't even feel like you're participating. You literally don't even feel like you're participating. You feel like you feel like you're just in someone's montage. Like, why am I in this server? Like, why am I playing against these guys? These guys are quite literally out of my league. And so I don't need to win every game to enjoy myself. I think that's the misconception too about skill-based matchmaking is like, do you expect to win every game? No. Do you expect to only play against potatoes? No. No one's ever said that. I don't think ever. I don't think I've ever heard a pro or a higher skilled player be like, you know, they really need to remove skill-based matchmaking so I can win every game, or they really need to remove skill-based matchmaking so that I can, you know, only stomp noobs or whatever. I just don't think so. Yeah, everybody, I knew they were going to do something today. Eugene. We can cover. Maybe we should make that the lead on radio and see how well it does. Creature, No Man's Sky Leviathan Expedition just released. Maybe not the lead. I don't know. That might be the strongest lead today, especially later in the afternoon. I think ranked is a more difficult sell to the average players and below. The same reason. Oh, Hilly. Yeah, I get your logic, but I'm not reading that out loud. When you slay out being the top 3 in the match every match, you're usually going to have to carry random players, which I'm fine with. They do kind of wind up feeding and making it harder to win. Oh, for sure, for sure. I don't mind losing, but why do I have to get crushed or crushed? Why can't I win or lose? The second statement doesn't make any sense to me. Top Gun DLC is supposed to drop today. In what? Gilly says, I've just never seen it pan out on skill MM. Rainbow Six Siege has ranked and unranked, and there went even rewards for ranking up. And people always sweat it out to play because rank equaled perceived skill. Sure it does. It doesn't make sense with the first sentence. I don't mind losing, but why do I have to get crushed or crushed? Why can't I win or lose? No Man's Sky Leviathan, Space Whales, New Expedition, Whale Stalker Cloak, Community Goal, New Narrative, Roguelike Mechanic, Organic Frigate Reward, Temporal Starship Trail, free and now on PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Yeah, they're doing the roguelike thing for the Expedition, right? If you die, you start over. So the trick in matching players based on skill and not simply the number of wins. My experience in skill-based matchmaking is that there's no winning or losing. You either drag someone or you get drug. Oh, I see what you're saying. Winning or losing doesn't feel that bad. Kind of like what I was saying. If I get to 9th place or 7th place and I lose, I'm like, that was a pretty good game. Whatever. Let's try again. I lost. I didn't win, but I made it to decent positioning in the game. I can take some satisfaction in that, But what you're saying is it's the road to me getting 9th place is just stomping bots and bad players. And then I get in the bad funnel, and now it's I can't even get out of the starting area. Can't get out of the starting area. There we go. We're climbing again. Guys, make sure you're smashing that like button. We need 30 more likes to hit the 200 like milestone. Let's do that before the first hour of streaming is up. We're at the 57-minute mark. We got 3 minutes to get a couple more likes. We're discussing the Modern Warfare 2 release date. It was revealed there was a secret code. There were also Warzone 2 leaks and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 leaks as well. And they are pointing to the... When does this release? Today? This released today. I'll record this tonight. Walking Zombie 2. We got a key for the PlayStation 5. I think that releases today. Yeah, May 25th. Okay. So we'll have another first look for you guys tomorrow. We're getting keys and codes, and unfortunately that waifu game runs so poorly I can't do a video on it. I thought it was going to be hilarious, but it runs like utter garbage. Your rank in ranked has always been something to show off, says Gilly, as proof of how good you are. Nobody I've ever played with went into matchmaking people at their level. They did it to climb up until you can't. Okay, here's the thing, Gilly. That's a certain type of player, and you are right. And what you're pointing to is what creates what I call player equilibrium. You want those players that think that way. You don't want them always in your connection-based hopper, because they're going to make it really, really bad for people who are not very good. You want player equilibrium. Yes, when you go into the connection-based hopper, you might run into somebody like that, but the chances are pretty good that you won't, because they're not all in there. You have to give your most dedicated players a playground, and having that rank and that prestige and that care of I'm ranking up, I'm getting stuff, I'm getting awarded rewards, I'm getting incentives, they're gonna consistently, not every day, not every hour, not their entire play session, but they're gonna consistently find themselves in the ranked playlist, which creates player equilibrium. But there are other players that would go into ranked because if you promise them, hey, you have a pop-up, looks like you're having a hard time. Have you considered playing in ranked where we will only put you against players of your skill level? Oh, that sounds great. And you can use bots if you need to, right? If you don't have enough low skill players going into ranked, put some bots in there. You know, adjust their aim accordingly. If this guy is bad, but he's, you know, wrecking the bots, that doesn't mean you just thrust him up into the upper echelons of the rank. You got to be gradual with it, right? I think one of the reasons this has never taken off and they've never done this is I think there is a general stigma against ranked. I think Call of Duty skill-based matchmaking is the reason that they just continue to do it the way that they do it. They do it the way that they do it because if they tried ranked, I think their research and maybe even their numbers, or maybe they've even tried it, you know, who the frick knows. I think it all points to, no, people don't go in the hopper, man. They don't do it. Even though I got to agree on the art style, the gameplay is quite fun and chill for friends. What game's he talking about? Awesome for gameplay, but has major crash issues. On top of very awkward art style. Could be the next Rocket League, but it's made by UB. I actually thought it played very smooth, neither. I had 2 or 3 crashes. It's like, it doesn't crash once I'm in the game. Like, once I'm playing, it was fine. But, like, I'd go to click on a game and it would just crash. And I'm like, what? I'm like, huh? But once I was in a game, I was like, this is really fun. Like, I think it can be the next Rocket League. It's so easy to pick up. And I guarantee you there's going to be insane skill ceiling of people, you know, figuring out all kind of tricks. If the matches were team-based and the matching fairly distributed new and bad players, then a new or bad player could still enjoy winning 50% of matches and contribute some kills for their team and learn. Having problems inviting crossplay friends. Oh, really? Yeah, crossplay is always shaky in games like that. We were thinking about it being like a community game night game, but we'll be doing Fall Guys next month, so Roller Champions has a while to get things ironed out before we would try and use it as a community game night game, because 4v4, that'd be a blast. Members only. Speaking of members, we don't have any members yet today. If you've never done a membership on YouTube, it's $5 a month. You get 4 perks. You get increased access in my Discord, a members-only AMA every Thursday if you want to ask me questions that we don't really talk about in front of the public, then a Friday night stream with my wife, and then a monthly community game night that also lands on Friday night. We'll be doing a huge Fall Guys community game night next month because it's going to be free to play on every platform except for mobile. Now, if you do a Tier 1, you can upgrade to Tier 2, and all 4 of those perks get enhanced. You can submit games that my wife and I have to play on Friday night. You get priority during community game night if there's too many people trying to play. You get priority during the AMAs, and you get more access in the Discord, a VIP room where you might get codes for games and stuff periodically. So if you're at a Tier 1, consider upgrading for those enhanced perks. Right now, we've got a Madam Game Vote room in the Discord for you to throw those games into. And if you've never done one, the truth of the matter is we don't run ads and we don't make enough off of ads. If we're going to keep live streaming, we got to continue to see membership go up because that's literally how we do what we do. This is a live show where we do multiple shows a day. We do 2 shows here on gaming. We do a show on radio. Without membership support, people cannot live off of ad revenue as live streamers on YouTube. It's got to be membership based. So that's why we offer all those great perks. Wave wandering, that's a funny blooper. Oh yeah, the wave wanding. I thought that was pretty funny. I've never published a blooper before. I've never done that. So I decided it might be fun to publish a blooper as a short. It also hit TikTok. So we'll see how that performs. Those shorts don't hit your sub feed or your announcements. So I thought that one was pretty funny. That Hogwarts update will hit the updates channel sometime today. Let's see. The problem is I don't think they use your skill level determination to always give you a fair match. It's meant to occasionally give you matches that you get stomped by someone and then matches where you stomp. Others to keeping people happy and not just constantly even matches. I just came to ask, was the teaser really in engine? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Lovely. Ad revenue is so hard to get anything worth it. Oh, yeah. You got to be at such a high level of viewership to have ad revenue mattering. Here's the thing about that, Distorted. If they're trying to put you in matches where you stomp and then put you in matches where you get stomped, I just find that to be so manufactured and dumb. Like, I don't know. The Soda Crisis game you previewed yesterday looks really fun. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed to the Reforge First Look channel and you want to get quick first looks at games, that's a great channel to be subscribed to. We've got a lot of people coming in today off of Suggested, off of the Call of Duty video. We're also getting people on search. Most of you are finding us by searching for Reforge Gaming. Thanks for using search for that function instead of just using the frickin' subscription feed. I am scolding you, by the way. Please just use subscription feed and stop frickin' doing that. I'm not kidding around. Population control is how many super skilled players do you have versus how many low skilled players do you have. The people in the middle are the hardest to manage. Right, but here's the thing, Corey. The upper level players don't like it either. Do you know what I'm saying? The upper level players don't like it. They don't. And the mid lane players don't like it. Who likes skill-based matchmaking? Like, that's my question. Like, who likes that? Is it only the people at the bottom that like it? If that's all they like, you guys in your search bars, yeah. It blows my mind. I'm like, oh, we're getting good search percentage today, and it's everybody just searching for Reforge Gaming. Like, Jiminy freaking Christmas. I use my sub feed if you were ever there. Not your homepage, your subscription feed. I will be in your subscription feed. That's never been broken. The homepage and the recommendations get broken, but the subscription feed does not get broken. Come on. Just click on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, we're getting an 8% search today, and half of the people doing it are just searching for Reforge Gaming. I'm like, you mother... It's like... The only game from recent memory I'd say they attempted to do this with was Hyperscape. However, the only reason why is because the team behind it put up their own time to tribute. You're at the top of mine? Yeah, they fixed that. I'm not worried about that. We just get a weird percentage of people who come into the stream every day by going to YouTube and searching Reforge Gaming. And instead of going to their sub feed or their subscription list, they go and they search Reforge Gaming. They did a ton in Div 1 and Div 2. If you're tuning in and you're wondering what we're debating about, why is skill-based matchmaking at the top of the poll? Call of Duty skill-based matchmaking. Leave it or remove it. We've got 302 votes. 53% say remove it, 47% say leave it. Pretty much split right down the middle. Let me know in chat why you think they should leave it or remove it. Also consider smashing the like button. We only need 9 more likes to get the first 200 likes on the video. I'm on mobile. Yeah, we haven't had any issues with showing up in people's feeds lately. I always get excited when I see that search percentage, and it's a total freaking joke and it's a total debate every time. It's a debate every single freaking time because it's not people actually searching for Modern Warfare 2 release date or Warzone 2 leaks. It's people searching for Reforge Gaming, which I guess is good in the long run because that means anytime you search for Reforge Gaming in the YouTube search algorithm, it's going to, shove you over here, but still. I'm deleting that. Don't say that again, Robert. Thank you. I've been trying to renew membership for 10 minutes, and it keeps spinning and not allowing me to confirm. Yeah, Narwaffle, they had that problem last week. I think it has something to do with the gifted membership rollout. I think it's jacking stuff up. With people's transactions. You were on my home. I was talking about the drone shot gameplay. So lovely. You think that artwork thing they did with the boats and the barge? Are people theorizing that that's in-engine gameplay? I just don't. What are they building Modern Warfare 2 in? Do we know? Do we know what they're building it in? That's my point. If you have a small percentage of people who would join a high skill ranked match and a small number of people who would choose low skill ranked matches, I'll try to keep it simple. Keep tryhards against tryhards and casuals against casuals. Yeah, but tryhards don't want that. Yo, good morning, Ancient. The engine of hopes and dreams. That's my thing is I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with y'all. This just smacks of like, it's like reverse classism, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, all these people that are really good at Call of Duty, they get them out of here, put them over there. We should never have to touch them. Why is that fair to them? Why is that fair to them? Oh, well, you're really good and you've played a lot. Well, yo, what's good, Uncle Brado over there on TikTok? You're really good and you've played a lot and you got skill and map awareness and knowledge of the weapons and you've really harnessed your reflexes. Here you go, man. Every match is a freaking sweat box. Every single match, and you're gonna constantly feel like you're in a tournament. Like, why is that? I don't understand. This is the hypocrisy. Let me explain the hypocrisy to you. You don't want to have bad matches. You want them to have bad matches, right? That's the facts. Like, and there's nothing wrong with this, right? Everybody's doing this. Everybody's arguing for their position and their experience. But fundamentally, the argument about skill-based matchmaking always breaks down to the same thing. Well, I don't want to have bad matches. Make those guys have bad matches. Make them play in sweat boxes all day, because I don't want to have a bad match. I don't want to get stomped. I don't want to play against somebody who's better than me, right? I've said this many, many times. I don't mind playing against a player that's way better than me. I don't mind that. What I mind is when I keep getting put in lobby after lobby after lobby of players who are way better than me. Why? Well, because I had 3 good games, and now that's my lot. That's my plight. Here you go, man. You did pretty good for a couple of games, and the rest of your day is going to be hell. And why? Why would you do that? I don't want to play now. You know what I'm saying? Morning Lono in chat, what are we talking about? Hardcore casuals? So it's like everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's arguing for, they want like a curated good experience. That's what they want. Am I writing up No Man's Sky for the second show or radio? Radio. No, PlayStation. The PlayStation stream's going to be good because Sony officially responded in an email. We got more info on that, so that's definitely our second show. My personal experience is a little bit controversial. Good players who play really good against average players and hate skill-based matchmaking are realizing they're not actually good. Well, wait, no, you're just moving the goalpost, Matanagi. If they're good against average players, then they're good. If you can beat average players, you're good. You have to just create more spectrum. There's bad, mediocre, average, good, professional, elite, right? There's like this big, huge spectrum. If you're beating average players, then yeah, you are a good player. Just because you can't hold your own against pros and elites and elite players doesn't mean you're not a good player. If you're able to beat average players, if you're able to beat the lion's share of the player base, then you're a good player. Too many people I've seen who trash skill-based matchmaking, saying they don't want to sweat in their matches, literally play all sweaty, like even against casuals. Well, yes, that's a common hypocrisy, Matanagi. These guys are sweaty, I hate sweaty players, and they're playing sweaty as well. That's not what I'm talking about. I understand there's a general hypocrisy in the upper echelons. Like go watch Destiny on the weekend and watch trial streamers, cry and whine about the fact that people are actually trying to win and they're out here, I guess, doing the Lord's work and doing carries. It's like, no, you're going into an incredibly competitive environment, and the people that are stacked and trying to win are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Shut the frick up. Yeah. Shut up. No, you're not special because you're carrying people in trials, right? And people do the same thing in Call of Duty, and people do the same thing in Apex. They're sweating their balls off, and then they go up against another team that beats them. Like, these guys are so sweaty, man. Stacked up and sweating. All these sweaty sweats. It's like, bro, are you trying to win? Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to shake hands and make friends? What are you doing? Now, I do think there's a big difference between like what I do on a Friday night with you guys, where I'm throwing back a couple of brews and we're just running around laughing. And yes, when we're doing that and some insane team swoops in, sweats, woof, kills us, and then teabags, I'm like, you sweaty no-lifers. I have every right to say that. I'm just trying to have fun. I'm just trying to have fun with the boys. You know? I'm not trying to sweat. I'm not trying to win. Now, we won like 7 games in a row, and none of them were sweaty. None of the games were sweaty. All the sweatheads went back to building. Hi from Israel. Hello. We'll lose all our paid skins for Warzone 2. No, you're going to lose them all. At least that's what they've said for now. When I first watched your stream, that's the first time I heard anyone call a competitive match sweaty. Yeah, like, it's sweaty. It's like, man, they're sweating. They're trying to win. But, like, and listen, my perspective on this has changed quite a bit. Like, my perspective on this has changed quite a bit. If you go into Trials of Osiris, if you go into a ranked playlist, if you go into a tournament, it is going to be sweaty, right? Now, when I boot up on a Friday night, I'm throwing back some drinks, and I'm playing squads in Fortnite, I shouldn't expect to sweat every game because I'm good or because I'm playing with good players. See, that's the problem. Hey, Narwaffle figured it out. First new member of the day. Enjoy your 4 perks. Increase access in the Discord. A weekly AMA member stream. A Madam stream with my wife on Friday nights. And a monthly community game night. Thanks for becoming a member. Who else wants to become a member? Let's get some members, man. We have slowed way down on new members. We got to get that 600 member count. So then my wife has to play Elden Ring. That argument is why all competitive multiplayer is going to be competitive. You play a competitive multiplayer game, then you should be prepared to sweat, since the nature of competitive is sweaty. Right, but that's competitive multiplayer. If you're playing ranked Valorant, that's not the same as playing with your buds in Warzone for a couple of hours. That's not the same as playing Fortnite squads. That's not, you see what I'm saying? You can't just constantly call everything competitive. I don't know if that's what you're doing, Corey. But if I go into a competitive environment, then I think it's totally fair. I should expect competitive, sweaty players. Ranked Valorant, Trials of Osiris, if they did ranked in these other games. The other problem is in a battle royale, it's you versus 24 other teams. Only one can win. The start might be sweaty, but at the end it's going to be sweaty because winning is coveted in BR. Yeah, this is the other way I'll say it, Gilly. My experience with skill-based matchmaking is the pendulum swings so sharp you don't have fun on either side of the swing. Either side of the pendulum swing, it's not fun. Let me explain what I mean. So the same thing would happen in Destiny, and the same thing would happen in Fortnite. I'd play 2 or 3 games against players who were obviously... I'm muted in Discord. It took an hour for somebody to say that. I would play against people that were obviously not very good. And it was easy. No challenge. You're shooting bots in Fortnite. You're shooting potatoes in Destiny. Just players that have no clue what's going on, or they are literally a bot. It's a computer player that's garbage, right? And so you have that experience. It's not that good. And then the pendulum swings all the way to the other side. It's like, wow, you had 3 decent games, right? You had 3 pretty decent games. Boom. And the pendulum swings all the way over here. Now you're playing against players that are well outside of your field of play, and you're getting crushed. Neither side of the pendulum swing is enjoyable. Now, we had fun. We had fun on Friday night doing the Fortnite no-build squads thing. That was fun. Why? Well, I mean, we weren't looking to be challenged. So sure, we killed bots most of the night. We were goofing around, laughing, and having fun. But generally speaking, if that happened every time I booted up, I wouldn't play it for very long. It's like, I'm playing against bots. I'm playing against players that aren't real. Hey, I don't appreciate you calling me a bot. I might be a garbage player, but I'm still a person. That's why I like the payday version of Warzone and respawns. It's not nearly as sweaty because it's not one and done. BRs are inherently sweaty because of how hard it is to matchmake 100 equally skilled players. Oh, for sure. For sure. I would rather it just be pure connection based, though. I would rather be pure connection based. 100% connection based. Just if I play against somebody who's crazy good, I do. If I play against players that are all over the map and they're not really good or they're average or whatever, I'm totally fine with that. VPN or exit lag to get lobbies with the best connection. How does VPN get you the best connection? I don't understand that. World of Tanks matchmaking blows. A team can lose 15 in a row. Statistically, that's impossible. Connection-based matchmaking is superior. Right, the idea is that connection-based is going to lead to, I guess, situations that are not ideal. That's what it feels like. The argument always seems to be that if you do 100% connection based, then you're going to consistently have people that are in games where they're not having a good time and they're going to quit. That seems to be the argument. And so for me, I'm like, okay, so we sacrifice one spectrum of the player's experience for another. Because guess what? I don't play those games that do that. I don't. The minute I can tell that skill-based matchmaking is firing and I'm getting put in lobbies with these people that are well outside of my league, it's real simple. It's real simple. I stop playing. Like, I don't continue to play and stream it and whine and cry and say this is lame and this is I can't believe they're doing this and da-da-da-da-da. No, I just calmly put the frickin' game down and don't go back. I did it all the time with, Destiny Iron Banner. I've done it recently with Fortnite. Now, Fortnite seems to show more promise with the no build mode. It seems like if you periodically dip your toe in the no build mode, then you don't have as much to worry about because the sweaty Fortnite players prefer, if you think about it, the most skilled players, the people that are super sweaty, most of them have spent the lion's share of their time in that game doing the building. And the minute you take that away, they're like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I want to be able to build. Skill-based matchmaking is beneficial for the longevity of the game. The idea that players want it removed so they can just chill with buds is not going to happen when they quickly realize how often they'd match with sweat lobbies if it's taken out. I don't think that's true, Sven. I don't think that's true. I don't think the numbers are there to conclude that. When you look at the lion's share of a player base, the idea that if you went pure connection based, I'm going to run into sweat lobbies all night? How? I don't understand how that's possible. Like, how is that possible that in a game like Fortnite or Warzone, if you went pure connection based, how is the math gonna lead to that happening? I'd love to see if there was a study done somewhere in a big PvP game. There aren't enough sweats to have so many sweat lobbies. That's what I mean. Like when Iron Banner rolled around or when I used to play Fortnite, it's like, I don't understand. I readily will admit that if I play for a considerable amount of time in a game like Fortnite, I'm going to run into players that are better than me. I'm going to run into teams that are stacked up, for sure. For sure. You've been in Vegas for your 40th birthday? Enjoy it, Train. I'm not saying I would never run into them. The idea is, apparently I'm going to run into them so often that I would stop playing. That's where I get hung up and I'm like, wait a minute. No? Do it for a week. Shut it completely off and be super transparent. That's what they should do. You just shut skill-based matchmaking off and you're just super transparent. You're like, here is the lower echelon, middle echelon, and upper echelon of the player base, and here are the kill averages, win averages, and placement averages once we turned it off. Let's take a look at what happens here, right? Let's take a look at what happens, and then just run it and see what happens, instead of just continuing to trot out this idea that I find difficult to believe. I'm not saying it's not true. I find it difficult to believe that if you went pure connection based, that so many people would face so many sweats and so many sweat lobbies and so many stomp experiences that they would walk away from the game. I have a hard time believing that. Now, it's all a matter of perception, right? So the problem is, if the bottom 25% faces anybody, they're going to feel like they're facing sweaty players. They're so bad, they're so awful at the game, that if they play anybody at the 30% skill level and above, they're going to be like, this is dumb, I'm getting stomped. They can't tell the difference between somebody like me and Z-Laner. They can't tell the difference. They're just like, that guy's a god. Why? They're so freaking bad that their perception is skewed by that. Maybe that's essentially what's going on, is that, yes, that's a percentage of the player base. The bottom 25 to 30% of the player base is going to perceive the entire rest of the player base as a pro. So they just can't play against them. And then so people like me, guess what? I'm basically always facing up. Always. I'm always facing up. Why? Because the people beneath me are never in my game after a couple of games. That entire portion of the player base, that bottom 40%, bottom 50% or whatever, they're not in my games. Why? Because they're going to perceive me as being too good. So then I basically am always facing up. I always have to face the top of the echelon after a couple of good games, because it's like, well, no, you can't face these players. They're going to think that you're a god, and you're not. You're not. But they're going to think you are. Perception skewed by their lack of skill. I'm feeling very attacked right now. I think there are too many people with too many different goals to have one type of matchmaking work for all. Connection-based matchmaking is going to connect you with people who have the best connection to you. Sweaty players tend to have good internet connection because it matters to them. Yeah, but Corey, it's region-based. You could have 1,000 sweatheads in California. I shouldn't be connecting with them. There should be plenty of East Coast players connecting to East Coast servers for the lowest ping possible. Like this idea that, oh yeah, the sweaties have better internet. I don't know if that holds true. That's exactly what they do. They don't do the week of no skill-based matchmaking because all the conspiracies of strict skill-based matchmaking and accuracy cone real-time adjustments to protect the low-skill players. Harry says, the problem is there only needs to be one sweat in the lobby of 12 will effectively ruin the lobby for the other 11. Mathematically, every lobby will have one player from the top 8% of players. But so you think that's true in a battle royale? You're talking in a lobby of 12. That's pretty different than what we're talking about. I get what you're saying though, Harry. I'm talking battle royale, but I guess I did mention Destiny. I would have 3. It was always the rule of 3. In Fortnite, it was the rule of 3, and in Destiny, it was the rule of 3. 3 good games, 3 decent games, and then woof, here you go. Enjoy playing against these guys. And it's like, oh my gosh. No, you're good, Harry. It's about both. It's about both sort of interchangeably. It's about the skill-based matchmaking in a battle royale, the skill-based matchmaking that I experience in Destiny. It always turned me off. It always made me stop playing. Connection-based matchmaking is better to keep you in the funnel, though. It's a lot easier to get over getting stomped if you can just hop into the next game. I think most of us agree skill-based matchmaking isn't the best, but I have to wonder why most PvP goes with it anyway. We love to postulate that connection is better, but I wonder if the player-based numbers actually back it up. Gilly, when I say it's better, maybe I'm not obviously stating this, so let me state this more obviously. I am obviously, maybe not so obviously, arguing for what would be best for me. Developers want to force 50%. 50% win ratio? Everybody's arguing what's best for them, and that's exactly what you should do. If it's your hobby, if it's where you spend money, if it's where you spend your time, then yeah, you should argue for what is best for you. We're all doing that. The pros do it. I'm a mid lane player. I argue for it. Low skill players argue for what they think is best because, they think I'm the boogeyman. They think that, they're going to face Z laner every other game. The biggest question is how to prevent those who go in and kill themselves a bunch to lower my KD to play more casual. It doesn't last for long. It doesn't last for long at all, Raw Bacon Taco. Trust me. I played Apex Legends one time to make sure everything was running smooth on my Xbox, and I played terribly on purpose. I dropped in just to be like, okay, is everything good? Is it capturing well in OBS? Okay, I'm not dropping frames. I'm not getting screen tear. Okay, cool. And I missed all my shots, and I let some people kill me, and I just left, and then I was out, and I didn't play anymore that night. And the next day, this is a fresh install of Apex Legends on my Xbox. The next day, I played one game with people where we did decent, we did okay, rest of the day was just so sweaty. Oh, not only that, I was playing with people who were better than me. So from Jump Street, I was playing against players that were 1,000 times better than me. Way more experienced, way more games, way more kills, way more everything. Why? I had the audacity to play with somebody who was better than me at the game. How dare I do that? How dare I be so presumptive to think that I should play with my friends? Who the frick do I think I am? And I ended up playing in sweaty lobbies, and it was miserable. I hated every moment of it. That's another that was my first reason this morning why I hate skill-based matchmaking. It's like, oh yeah, let me play with some of the boys, man. Yeah, you've been playing all week. Yeah, you really know the ropes. Yeah, show me the ropes. Dead. Oh, wow, these lobbies are spicy. Dead. Oh my. Oh, okay. All right, next game. Dead. Why am I playing this? Why am I playing this? What's the point? I'll play by myself, I guess. I remember trying to Apex with you and Milo when it first came out, and none of us knew what was going on. Fun times. That was a long time ago, yeah. That was good. I miss Milo. Milo was a good guy. On average, you could go 10 games with no one in the top 1% or 10 games with 5 people in the top 1%. Matchmaking system. Calculations complete. Conclusion. Player is a god. Throw in god lobby. Apex skill-based matchmaking is brutal, though. If I want to play with my new friends, I have to hop on an alt account. I hit Masters last split, so my lobbies are all Preds and Masters. Yeah, it's just, holy frick. You can't play with the boys. You can't play with anybody who's better than you. It just doesn't work. I'm like, and I'm telling you, I must be the minority. This just in. 40-year-old white man learns what it feels like to be the minority. Like, I must be the minority. There must not be a lot of people like me in the player funnel, because if there were, they wouldn't do this. They would look at my player patterns, and if lots of people followed my player patterns, they would make adjustments. But it must work, as Gilly said a little bit ago. It must work, because they keep doing it. Skill-based matchmaking makes it so I can't play with my friends who aren't as good, and it's effing boring. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, if you're good, you can't play with me. You know what I mean? Oh, man, it'd be so fun to play with Lono. Yeah, man, on a Friday night. Oh, let's get together and play. And you ruined my night. I'm like, yeah, man, come on in, let's play. And 25 minutes later, I'm, like, salty and annoyed. Wow, what a fun evening that was. Well, let's look at it from the other side. Would you have had a lot of fun either if you jumped in those Fortnite or Apex games and people like me and Braden and Milo just stomped and you saw no one for hours? Well, we started to have those experiences for a while, Harry. There was a time in Fortnite where we would boot up and we would play squads. Do you remember this, Harry? And it was me and you and Braden, and I would rotate you and Braden in and out, and we would raffle 2 spots, and we would just carry people to victory. I would sit back with the Deagle and just absolutely devastate people that were fighting with you guys in the builds, because, I mean, I could pop their shield, and then you'd go spit on them, and they'd be dead. We used to win all the time. Do you remember? I remember checking my rank on that one website, and I'm like, pfft, and I would tweet about it. Yeah, we won 8 games today. 8 games, right? That was before they turned up skill-based matchmaking. Now, I obviously adjusted my strategy, Harry, because there was a time where you guys were so aggressive, I never saw a single blip of I never saw a single blip of action. So I adjusted my play style. I was like, all right, I'm going to get the scoped AR or the Deagle. I'm going to hang back. I'm going to soften up the players. I'm fine with getting a ton of assists. Winning matters. Fun matters. Keeping the vibe in chat and the vibe in the stream light, that matters. And we had a blast. I'm trying to imagine Lono salty and annoyed. Oh, wait, that was surprisingly easy. I'm trying to imagine Zubair being smarmy. I couldn't even get it out. I'm trying to imagine Zubair being sarcastic and dumpy. It's not very difficult. I ruined my own clapback. I ruined my... Madam's coming in to scold me to say, don't be rude to Zubair. He was rude first! He started it! I remember Braden hyping you up, teaching you 90s. Yeah, I remember practicing with Braden in creative. That's right.
You apologize?
That's what's supposed to be when you play with your people. Team play, just fun. Zubair's got a dumpy. Anyone got pics? That's what I'm saying, Ancient. That's exactly what I'm driving at. Like I don't even need to win. Like we would win a ton of games for sure. We would. That was a thing, okay? That was a thing. We would win a ton of games, but that's not why we had fun. We had fun because we were working together and getting far in the game and not feeling like, oh, we can't even compete. It's part of the game. Throw shade, catch shade. Them's the rules. That's right. My game pattern in Fortnite was win the first game, top 5, second game, and then after, I can't survive 3 fights. To me, it's the rule of 3. I've not played a lot of Call of Duty Warzone, so you guys would have to let me know what the experience is like. If you're just tuning in, Modern Warfare 2 release date and Warzone 2 leaks, that's the subject matter of the stream. That's what we're talking about. Make sure you hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss our shows. Our second show is going to be about the PlayStation Plus price upgrade is getting criticism. Sony officially responded in an email to someone. We have that email. I'll be breaking all that down for you in about 25 minutes. You and Zubair back and forth is great. I got my best burns on Zubair in that. What was that game I was playing? I mean, I just absolutely. It was so bad. I immediately apologized. It was that pixel art Doom wannabe game, like something Overkill or something. What was that game called? I'm scrolling back because I have to find it. It was legendary. I'm patting myself on the back for my own roast. I don't know how far back this was. I don't know when this was. What were we doing? What were we even doing when we did it? It's not that far back. How long ago was that? I clipped it. I clipped the Zubair roasts. This was stated not too long ago by an ex-Respawn dev in reference to matchmaking. Just going to correct Bob here. Bronze player could get matched with a platinum player in some intended edge cases. However, bronze players should never be matched with a diamond player. We investigated this, and in all cases we checked, it is a gold player and a pre-made with a bronze player that gets placed in the gold plat lobby. This is intended because gold players can duo queue with bronze and silver players. When you are in a pre-made, you play at the highest player's tier, in this case the gold lobby. Sometimes when queue time is sufficiently high, lobby starts merging to kick off games. This is a compromise in the design because we don't want these players to wait forever. So sometimes during off-peak hours this starts happening. This is fully intended. With that said, this feels like a bug and I'll look into adjusting specific edge cases in the future. So yeah, if you're pre-making, you're gonna get put against the people that are matching the highest person in the lobby. That's the way that it's designed. It's turbo overkill gameplay. Yeah, turbo overkill gameplay is when I roasted Zubair. Just absolutely filleted him. I remember because I don't get many good hits in, and it was a good one. It's hence why you see Preds in the lower lobbies. You see Preds in the lower lobbies. Wait, is that because they're playing in like off-peak hours or something? Both sides of the argument are valid. Game companies need to retool skill-based matchmaking, but it should absolutely still be implemented. Without skill-based matchmaking, your game will die an early death. People play with skill-based matchmaking. It's only stomp or be stomps. I think it's only stomp or be stomped. Skill-based matchmaking versus connection-based matchmaking is not a more gray than black. Is not a more gray than black and white. Different solutions work better for different games. I cannot say for Warzone as I've not played it, says MacMan, but my friends say that it's in a really bad place with matchmaking. Well, the leaks, the Warzone 2 leaks and the Modern Warfare 2 leaks, that's what they point to. They're setting their sights on skill-based matchmaking. That's what they're setting their sights on. Games got by fine without skill-based matchmaking for years. Yo, what's good, Kill You? I'm going to push back, though, Creature. They got by fine with much smaller volume. Think about what happened with Call of Duty. As the volume of Call of Duty grew, as the player base grew, look at the pattern, right? Boom, 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 boom. We need skill-based matchmaking. Like, there was a volume tipping point where they said, we're noticing exodus. We're noticing players that don't stay because they can't get consistent wins. They can't get any wins or kills. That's more than likely what happened. They ran the numbers and they were like, we've got to do something. I remember, what was his name? It was the guy, he's like the famous guy. I think his name starts with a Z or something, or V, Vandahar. There was a guy that basically said that they put skill-based matchmaking in one of the Black Ops games because everybody was talking about it. They're like, it's so extreme now. Everybody was complaining. And he said they put it in because they didn't want people pub stomping. And I'm like, what the frick is pub stomping? I had no concept for that term. I was like, pub stomping? I'm looking at my friends thinking, we're not some esports organization that's going in and practicing our aim in pub matches stacked up playing at a pro level. We're just a motley crew of dudes that met on the internet and we're like, let's play some Call of Duty. And we came up with strategies. We had different plans and game plans for the different maps. We played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 a junk ton. We played headquarters. Gaming is so much more competitive than it used to be, says Harry. Every game has an esports now. Playing old school CODs, the proportion of players playing scrims would have been essentially zero outside of the pro scene. Right, but I remember when he said that, I remember telling my friends, I was like, I didn't like him. I didn't like that guy. I got really angry. I was like, why is he saying this? They all had skill-based matchmaking. The tweet author has deleted the tweet. This guy here says he's a technology fellow at Treyarch. And so he's claiming they all had skill-based matchmaking. Here's the picture of the tweet that was deleted. Call of Duty 4, no skill-based matchmaking. Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, no skill-based matchmaking. Well, he's wrong about Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3. I know for a fact it worked in Modern Warfare 3, but it was pretty light. It got really extreme in Black Ops 2. Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, I'm going to tell you the reason why it wasn't as noticeable. I'm going to tell you right now. The player bases were smaller. The player bases were smaller, so you were commonly getting thrown against people that weren't at your skill level. If you played at the right time of day, there probably weren't enough high-level players playing. Also, the parameters of skill-based matchmaking dramatically changed in Black Ops 3. I remember distinctly saying, this is different. We're not just getting matched according to skill because we got 1 or 2 wins. We're being punished. Our lobby would break. It would put nobody in our lobby. We'd have to back out and re-queue, and then we'd always get region mismatched and get stomped by Russians, Japanese, Korean, Chinese players. It was clear we were region mismatched. So the skill-based matchmaking dramatically shifted the further the game went. It was not that noticeable in Modern Warfare 2. It was slightly noticeable in Modern Warfare 3. When I got into Black Ops 2, I was like, what is this crap? And then Black Ops 3 was unplayable because of it. They literally wanted a 50-50 win ratio. Win, lose, win, lose. There was no such thing as a win streak in Black Ops 3. They made sure of that. We went from being able to win hundreds of games in a row to literally win, win, loss, win, loss, win, win, loss, win, loss. It's like, what is this? And the losses were always region mismatched. It was like, we didn't lose because we were bad. We lost because the connection was terrible. Everyone wasn't as GPPD and the player base was smaller. The big thing back then, people weren't as good and the player base was smaller. That's right. No wins for you. The death of consistent lobbies has ruined skill-based matchmaking. You can gauge the skill of a group of players when they play against other many times and bring in equally skilled players and keep it equal. If the winning is fixed, then what's the point of playing? Well, that's why so many people were criticizing it. Right? Get featured on Spotify? How? Oh, we can submit our show to get featured on Spotify, creature, through our distributor. That's exactly, Skiffy. That's exactly why people got so frustrated. They're like, it just feels rigged. It feels like an illusion. It feels like an illusion. As the average skill of players has increased over the years, it makes skill-based matchmaking even worse. I remember playing Black Ops 3. I've told this story before. The last day that I played Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was a day where I went 32-4. I was untouchable. I was a god. Same players, same lobbies, same team. Next game, I went negative. The next game, I went negative. Why? Well, they flipped host advantage and lag compensation. Lag compensation murdered us. It was like all of a sudden, so there was two things going on in Black Ops 3. There was a skill-based matchmaking, but then there was host advantage and lag comp. And if you were on the good end of lag comp, you couldn't even lose your gunfights. Like, I watched videos of guys who figured out how to manipulate lag compensation so that they were on the good end of it. And it's like everybody they shoot, no one shoots back. Like, not a single person shoots back. It's like, what in the frick? What is this? What's going on here? It's like everybody's just running around the corner into bullets. No one has any reaction time. And then, same thing happened to me. I'm running around the map. I'm charging through doors. Why? I can't lose. I'm on the good end of lag comp. Very next match, same teams, same exact lobby, and boom. I can't win a single gunfight. I go negative. And I'm like, I don't understand. I was like, and that's why I quit. I was like, it's all an illusion. This game is a freaking illusion. They're manufacturing good games and bad games. They're manufacturing wins and losses to keep players playing. I was like, I'm done with this. This is a freaking joke. And that's why Fortnite was so fun in its early stages, because that crap wasn't going on. You could improve, you could get better, you could squad up, and you'd see results from that. You'd place higher, you'd win more games, you're having fun with your buds. They slapped skill-based matchmaking in, and guess what? Well, now I can't play with Braden. Well, now I can't play with Harry. Now I can't play with this guy. Why? Well, they're so good, I'm going to play against players that I stand no chance against. It's not fun. Or I play on a Smurf account with my brother and my two nephews, and we have 3 good games, and then all of a sudden we're in mini Tfue lobbies and people are building mini malls over our heads. And we're like, well, we had 3 good games. We played reasonably well against bots and against terrible players, and now we're in a funnel of terribleness. I don't know. My question is, how does this not have depreciating returns slowly over time? How does it not have depreciating returns? Don't you eventually get better? Don't you eventually leave the echelon of potato and then suddenly realize that skill-based matchmaking is a bad idea? Are those custom disc plates? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I have custom disc plates for Reforge Gaming, and then I have custom disc plates for Reforge Radio. Reforge Radio has the microphone on this side, and then it says radio over here. It's starting to, says Ancient. It's sad for players that are on the edge of a higher MMR. I get that, but understand you're in the minority. I think it should be a mixture of connection and skill. Definitely doesn't make me want to play. I wonder if I should find an episode on YouTube or just leave my memories alone. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Oh, I love that show so much. Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Oh. I pretty much stopped playing after Ghost. I might have touched one Call of Duty game after that, but I don't even remember that. The last time I played Call of Duty with you guys, I had a lot of fun. We played Plunder, and it was a blast. The reason I didn't have fun when we did private matches is because people just got a little too sweaty, and it was just like, this isn't really enjoyable. You know? Skill-based matchmaking is good for high-level players too, though. Why is it good for the high-level players? Leave him alone. I rewatched it. It did not age well at all. You go back to certain movies and certain shows and certain games, and you're like, this thing, oh, it was so awesome. And then you're like, no, it's not. I still want to apologize for that. I ended up getting sweaty back then. DMR rooftop set you off? Yeah, all these people had like god tier kits and they were just sitting on rooftops shooting people. Like coming down out of the sky. It was like, what are we doing? We're just supposed to be playing for fun. You know? I'm like literally just trying to get back down into the game. And I remember people being like, well, you're supposed to don't go for rematches. Go out away from the fights. So I was trying to do that, and I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even avoid fights. It's like I would drop down and just immediately be getting beamed as I dropped. Games become boring really quick when there's not a challenge, says Harry. Yeah, but Harry, doesn't this make the ranked and unranked, if you can get it right, if you can get it, like, I felt like Valorant's worked really well. If you can get it right, isn't that the solution? If they want the challenge, if they want to work on grinding, if they want to squat up and sweat out, they can. And if they don't want to, then they can go into just pure connection based. I kept spawning in the same area as Lono and his partner. Yeah, I don't know if people were doing it on purpose, but if you were, congratulations. That's why we stopped doing it. Like, you played yourself. Like, we literally stopped. That was the last night we did it. I was like, I'm not doing this. Everybody likes to pick on streamer in, Among Us and in Call of Duty. It's like, why don't we do that anymore? Well, ask the people that have no self-control. Depends on the game, I think. It does depend on the game. It does depend on the game. Like, how would you do ranked and unranked in Battle Royale? Because you'd run out of players, would you not? Like, you'd go into ranked and there just wouldn't be enough players playing, so it would defeat the purpose. You'd end up getting thrown in with people that are outside of your rank anyway. Maybe I missed this, but why doesn't every game just do ranked and unranked? It's just more complicated. It's just more complicated because you have to do a larger snapshot of their skill. It has to be a larger snapshot combined with how much they've been playing. How much have they ranked up? You have to create rules for ranking up and de-ranking, right? And it can get a lot of criticism. Overwatch got a lot of criticism for its ranked and unranked systems. Mainly its ranked systems. How you gained rank, how you lost rank. It's not an easy system to develop well. I say it's the solution, but I always kind of leave out the fact that it's a pretty complex system. If I think Valorant had an easier time building it because it's pretty clear. It's like, let's say you have skill levels of varying between 3 and 10, and you have all these people on a Valorant team. You got a 3, couple of 4s, a 7, and an 8. Well, it's really easy to say, let's just find another team playing right now with similar ranks and skill levels. And it sort of evens out. Why? Because the really good player is going to have a really hard time clutching. So as long as the mediocre and lower skill players play it safe and wait for plays and use their higher skill players to try to make plays and make opportunities, it just works, right? it's not as simple in a battle royale. Because it's like, well, this guy's really good. He consistently gets this many kills. He's got this many wins. He's at this rank. Okay, put him in other matches with people of a similar rank and kill record and win record. Okay, there's only a couple people on right now in that spectrum in his region, maybe 20. All right, now we got to expand the parameters. So people that are further down the line than him, lower in kill average, lower in win average, but in his region. And so you extend, you extend, you extend, you extend. The problem is with the Battle Royale, you need 100 people. What's going to end up happening is people outside of the skill spectrum of those top 10% that end up in that server are going to be like, I shouldn't be facing these guys. So what would you do? You'd have to create more rigid rules, which would make matchmaking take way longer, or you'd have to region mismatch, which would be contrary to the entire spirit of a rank system, which is to play against people in a competitive environment at your skill level to raise your rank. Well, if you're getting region mismatched, you're not gonna get anywhere. That's why League of Legends has a fairly decent rank system, solo, duo, and then 5-stack. Battle Royales also don't have set loadouts and RNG on drops. One match you can go off with an orange weapon, and they get killed 2 fights in with the blue. Yeah, that's why you have to take a larger snapshot of their games. It's like, wow, I got a great kit, 2 games in a row, killed a bunch of bots and potatoes. I look like a god, and I'm not. I guess I was thinking arena-type games. I don't understand BR games well enough to have an opinion on those. I think I think arenas are a little bit easier. If you sample 100 of my games, you're going to have a real clear picture of where you need to put me. If you're taking a 100 game snapshot of me playing in the ranked playlist, you have a very good snapshot of how I'm going to play and perform and who you should put me up against. In general, I think arenas are easier because if you look at 100 games and you look at my kill averages and my win averages, I think you're going to have a very, very clear picture of what's going on. Instead, that's the problem with the BR. Like, Gilly brings up the RNG, which is a good thing to bring up. Like, your drops, your kit, the kit of the other players, all those things are going to play a part in how well you do, and that's going to be 100%. That's going to 100% be a thing. It's going to affect your overall snapshot. I think it's going to be harder to get a snapshot of a player in a battle royale because there are so many factors that go into how well somebody plays in a battle royale. So, our second subject today hopefully is a little bit more spicy and gets a little bit stronger draw. It's possible that we should have made this one today about the leaks and skill-based matchmaking instead of the release date, because the release date's already old news because it's a day old. I might have just chosen the wrong title. We did not get the turnout I expected after such a big Call of Duty announcement for such a famous title. So we're going to bump to the next topic here in just a moment. It is the PlayStation Plus upgrade pricing is being criticized. Sony has officially responded in an email. We've got that. I'm going to read through that. We're going to debate and discuss. I think people are getting this one wrong. I do think Sony needs to adjust one aspect of this, but the other aspect is being completely spun and misrepresented by the press in a pretty nasty way. They're literally misleading people with bad terminology. VGC did the same thing that Push Square did, and we're going to be talking about it in a moment. Do me a favor, if you've been enjoying the show, I bet you there's 50 people right now that haven't pushed like. It's free to push like. Close the chat for a second if you're on mobile. Give that little thumbs up a press, and then get back in chat. Get ready for us to switch gears here in just a moment. We almost never run ads. We don't make what we need to off of ads on YouTube because we're a live streaming channel. We really need members. A lot of the non-members, if you can afford it, we've got plenty of perks for you for just $5 a month. Consider clicking join, ! Join in the chat, or order some coffee. That's another great way. Those are the two greatest ways to support the channel monetarily. If you can't support monetarily, try to be here every day. Hit subscribe, hit like. If you don't see me on your homepage, always check your subscription feed or my channel. We're live every day. I'm going to take a really quick break, use the restroom, run some ads, come back, and we'll switch to the second show, And then we've got other things to cover on Reforge Radio. So we got a lot more coverage for the day. We will be right back. Okay. I shut down the TikTok stream. I think we're going to try doing the morning stream and the afternoon stream over there instead of doing just all day, because we just start getting depreciating returns. It's like me and one other person hanging out. So I shut that down. Okay. Let's get the next stream ready. Just responding to the poll, why wouldn't everyone want skill-based matchmaking? It seems 50% of the players are nothing more than gankers? I don't even know what that means. Like, I'm a pretty mediocre player and I hate skill-based matchmaking. The quick too long didn't read. It makes it impossible to play with my friends if they're better than me, because I end up playing against people that are way better than me, and it makes it impossible for me to enjoy even a couple of good games, because then I end up in games and that I have no business being in. It's that freaking simple. It's that simple. It's like I cannot do the things that I want to do. I can't have a couple of good games, and I can't play with my buds. Why? Skill-based matchmaking. And I'm an average player. So what do? I don't play the games that often. Like, it's that simple. Why would I? I don't understand. Like, that's the question people have to answer. Why would I play a game that gives me tons of reasons to not play? That's the real thing. It's like, you want to sit here and say that I just want to stomp and I just want to do this or just want to that. I mean, you can completely misrepresent me and my position. The question is, why would I play? What's the point? The game is telling me basically not to play. You're going to have a terrible time if you play with your friends, and you're going to have a terrible time if you play well. Okay? Bye. Like, it's that simple. I just don't play. It means you like to take advantage of lower skilled players? Oh, that's what gankers means. Yeah, I'm not a ganker. I'm an average player that wants to be able to enjoy myself, and I can't with skill-based matchmaking. So much of the gaming press is misrepresenting this and getting it wrong. Shocker. Negativity for clicks. Gaming bloggers unite. Come discuss. Link and retweet. Announcements. That. I'm gonna put a link in chat just in case. Just in case we cannot get a good redirect, which I feel like we've been getting good redirects. Does that work? That works. I feel like we've been getting better redirects. Pin that message at the top. Again, just in case the redirect doesn't work. The PS Plus upgrade price is receiving criticism. It is also being pretty grossly misrepresented by the gaming press. We're going to break it all down. Sony has officially responded to inquiries about the PlayStation Plus upgrade pricing, how it works. It did hit the Asian market. It's set to hit the American market in June, and many people are already criticizing this. And as I said, the gaming press is really misrepresenting this. Multiple articles calling this something like taking away your discount or removing discounts. This is simply untrue. I'm going to break it all down for you in this video. We're also going to be debating it. It's a VOD. It's a live stream. If you're watching the past broadcast, make sure and hit subscribe and the bell button. I'm going to bring everybody over from the live stream this morning. We discussed Call